I was afraid of that. Can see that right through here. It's quite a bad crack. Well, good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Retired for Life. Ooh. We've been getting some snow. So, let's go get that snowblower going and start throwing some of this stuff around so we can get up and down the driveway. So the snowblower has been working really well. I've been very pleased with it. There still really hasn't been enough to truly challenge it, but that's okay. We're doing a good job. Came very close, I think, to popping a shear pin with this. I could hear that big clump of ice rolling around in front of the snowblower. That's a big piece that came off of somebody's car that went by, and then the snowplow ended up just pushing it out into the end of the driveway. And of course I couldn't see it because it was under everything else. But fortunately I stopped quick enough to prevent any damage to the snowblower. So we'll just pick it up and throw it out of the way and keep going. Well, you know, I may be new to woodworking, but holy mackerel, this seems inadequate. You would think it would get a little closer to the blade than it does, but it doesn't. Maybe on the other side. Nope. But it does have these two slots in it. It's almost like they knew something was missing from the beginning. So let's see if we can do something with this. I mean, I don't think I can make it worse. I've got a piece of red oak here that I think I'm going to try to make this out of. Now this is a salvaged piece from an old tree, and it was really rotten, which is why the tree came down. But there is a portion of it that I think I can still use. That part's not very good, but I think I'm into good wood now. So we're gonna try cutting this at 6 inches first and see how that looks. You can see here, if it shows up in the camera, this comes right from the center of the tree. And you can see even in that bit, it was starting to rot there. So the whole bottom part of this tree was pretty rotten. But we did get a few boards out of it. So we'll make use of it. So I decided to cut it down to 5 inches. And that looks okay. But it has a slight twist to it. So I'm going to run it through the planer and try to flatten that out. And the other thing I want to do, because I'm cutting slots through it, I think this 1-inch piece I just took off, I'm going to fasten to the back here over top of where those slots will be, just to make it a little more reinforced so my hardwood doesn't split on me and come apart at the slots. So we'll get the planer going, skim this through, and then see what that looks like. All right, I'm happy with the size now. It's going to be nice to be able to push this along, and I can put clamps on here for stops or all kinds of things. But we're going to give it a try. So next thing I need to do is get this fastened to the miter gauge, and I've got some nice size screws here that I can use. So I'm going to mark my spots and put a pilot hole in, and then put these screws in and see how it feels. Alright guys, so there is our miter gauge fence, I guess you could call it. The only thing I've got left to do now is to actually run the table saw blade through it. So I'm going to run it through on this side, then move it over to the other slot and run it through there as well. And then we'll call this done. We'll see how it works. Well, we've got our slots cut in it, but it cracked. I was afraid of that. Can see that right through here. It's quite a bad crack. So, I mean, it was a good idea, but I don't think there's anything I can do with that. That's unfortunate. It looks great. I'm very pleased with it. And I think it would do a decent job. And it sure gives you a much wider surface here to work with instead of just the little bit on the miter gauge there. So, I have to see what I can come up with to try and do something with that. I'm not sure. I don't want to just throw this out yet, and I'm going to use it for now, but we'll see what happens. Well, not being one to give up on things easily, I think I have come up with a possible fix here for my miter fence board. So what I did, you can see the crack on that side, but on this side I kind of forced the board open a little bit and then got glue in there, clamped it shut, so there's a good bit of glue, and on the other side I put this patch of plywood on there, so this is all glued and screwed down in place. So I'm hoping that that's going to hold my fence board together. So the only thing I've got left to do is put it back on the miter gauge on the table saw and run it through so that I've got this cut same as here back into it. And then that will be it. We're going to put that away and call it good. Hopefully. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you found it interesting, or at the very least entertaining. And I'd love to hear from you as to what you think, or any suggestions or comments or anything like that you have. Please don't hesitate to leave them. And if you are enjoying the videos, I'd really like to have you like the video and love to have you subscribe to the channel. So thanks very much for watching, guys. And we'll see you on the trails the next time.